Hey friends, welcome back to the next trophy guide for Lies of P, and today I'm going to show you where to find all the regular weapons. Of course, there's also a video for all the special weapons on the channel, so let's get started right away. At the beginning you just pick any weapon you like. It really doesn't matter which weapon you choose at first, because you can buy all of them later anyway. In chapter 1 there's a merchant right before the boss where you can purchase the weapons you didn't pick earlier. So make sure to do that, because the merchant disappears in the end game. Alright friends, feel free to leave a like or even subscribe. And now I'll show you chapter by chapter where all the weapons are. The next weapon is in chapter 2. Here at the merchant you can reach via the Stargazer. There you can buy the electric baton. You should definitely pick it up to get the weapon collector trophy. Alright, let's move on to the next one, which is also here in chapter 2. Specifically, that's the police officer, or rather the police baton. To get it, you have to take down the police officer here to obtain his baton. This all takes place in chapter 2. I think you all know the spot, and you just need to defeat that guy to get the police baton. At the beginning, if you're struggling with him, it's pretty easy if you climb up the ladder, lure him over and perform a special attack from above to deal significant damage. That way he goes down relatively quickly and easily, and you have the police baton in no time, making it a good way to take him out. So you can get the motorcycle police baton here. We actually don't find the next weapon until chapter 3. From the Stargazer we head all the way up, and back here there are some crates. We roll through them, there's a trapdoor here, and we jump down, take out the enemies, and in the safe you'll find the next weapon, which of course we pick up. This is the blade of a Salamander dagger. The next weapon is also in chapter 3. You probably remember where the balls come rolling towards you, and you can unlock a few enemies or a certain passage here, and that's exactly where you'll find the next weapon. So just run all the way to the end where the balls are, and you'll see the chest glowing. Yes, of course we have to go there, so we run through here and take out the enemies. And if you're still missing a weapon, guys, as I said, I've organized everything below by chapter and by weapon. That way you can easily compare and skip through the chapters individually. Now we go to the chest, open it, and find something nice inside: the fire axe blade. Here in chapter 3 there's actually another weapon, specifically after we've taken down this huge robot here down in this area. Of course you'll also get quartz once you've defeated it. But most importantly, you can open another chest back here and get something nice out of it. So we head over there, grab the next chest and open it up, because here we also get another nice weapon. We'll go ahead and take that with us. Blade of a booster stick. Alright, then we move on to the next area, or rather we go all the way through, because at the very end of chapter 3 there's also the screwdriver key, so to speak. You get it when you climb all the way to the top of the mine here. And back there's a chest that we can open, and inside we get the pipe wrench, basically the huge pipe wrench that everyone needs at home for a plumber day. So open up the chest and we grab the head of a large pipe wrench. Alright, the next weapon is in the next chapter, specifically in chapter 4, and it's pretty well hidden. You probably still remember the gears here where you can throw down the fire chalice. And as I said, the weapon is pretty well hidden because you actually have to move on and let this gear transport you across. So we step onto it and basically ride the gear to the other side. It's really well hidden and can be easily missed. Once we're on the other side, it's pretty easy. We can just jump down or roll over, and then we'll find the secret chest here. It's tucked away back here in the corner, so we go up to it, and then we found our next weapon. We open the chest, and inside we get the double-bladed spear of a blind man. Alright, let's continue. We're now moving on to chapter 5. Finish chapter 4. Go to chapter 5. If you go straight from the Stargazer and take the small path to the right, little dead end, the next chest is there. So simply start from the Stargazer in chapter 5 and you'll find it pretty easily. Yes, the next weapon is also in chapter 5, almost at the end. When you climb the ladder in this village, you'll end up on these rooftops, and that's where you'll find the next chest. It's actually not hard to find at all. It's right up here. We just pick it up and then we get the next weapon. Open the chest and you'll find a nice bone cutting saw, which is pretty cool. Yes, the next weapon is also available in chapter 5 and you can buy it from the merchant, so just use the Stargazer in the Malman district. And up here you can actually pick up another chest. Of course we'll grab that as well. There's a Legion caliber inside, but here at the merchant we can buy a record and also the next weapon, and of course that's exactly what we'll do. So go ahead and always buy the weapons from the merchants, because sometimes the merchant might disappear or no longer be in their usual spot. Alright, we've taken care of that, and then we move on to chapter 6, where you get the curved sword blade. That was a video where I just showed it here because I had a cold at the time and had lost my voice. You can get it simply by walking straight ahead when you first enter the street area here. Curved sword of a dancer. Yes, the next one is also in chapter 6, specifically in the opera house. There's a safe there that we can open, and inside is the pickaxe blade. We take that too and find another weapon in chapter 6. We can get it there if we have the shop expansion, which we use here. If you don't know where to find it, see the complete walkthrough for chapter 6. It's explained there. And with the shop expansion we can buy the next weapon here. Yes, the next weapon is also available in chapter 6, right at the very end. So after we've already defeated the boss, we come to a small street district where we can climb up a ladder on the right. This is the part where the puppets are already kind of out of commission if you've killed the Puppet King. And when we climb up the ladder here, we reach a small area in the back where we can collect the chest. As I said, if you have any trouble with a particular path in this video, feel free to check out the complete walkthroughs for each chapter. Everything is described there in great detail. Here, of course, only the weapons are shown, so here we find the blade of the clock sword. Naturally, we pick that up and then continue on until we reach chapter 7, where we can find the next weapon. That's when we go into this outhouse here, where that document was lying in the back. There we find the key lying by the well, which we absolutely need, of course, but here the merchant basically has the next weapon, which we can simply grab. We go over here, talk to the merchant and buy the next weapon to have all weapons. We select buy, and there's the electric chainsaw. Then we continue to chapter 7, where there's a poison area. We have to go through it, always destroying the bulbs here so the decay goes away. And here we also find a safe next to some butterflies. First we have to take out all the enemies here. Once we've done that, keep hitting the bulb so the poison area disappears. And then we can open the safe in the back where the next weapon is inside. Of course we'll take it with us, grab the safe, which we've already cracked open, and can take out the weapon. Blade of an honor spear. Then we continue, but only in chapter 8, where we can enter the tower at the spot where we're first attacked with bombs in order to destroy the cannon above. That's exactly what we do. We climb up here, destroy the cannon that's shooting at us for the first time, and then we can also collect the next chest and of course take it with us. Alright, moving on, still in chapter 8, right at the very end, just before we fight the giant Pinocchio chain puppet. We can unlock the shortcut here. There's a small house next to it, and inside that house you'll find, yes, the next blade for the city Longspear. As mentioned, this is right before you fight that huge Pinocchio puppet for the first time, otherwise we'll go back to the Hotel Krat. We use the shop expansion again and can then buy the next weapon here. And yes, if you don't know where the shop expansion is or if you missed it, you can definitely buy the next weapon here. And if you haven't found it, feel free to check out the full walkthrough on the channel, where it's explained in more detail where the shop expansion is. We actually won't find the next weapon until chapter 9, namely when we're here at the main station in Krat, climbing up the trains here and basically unlocking the second shortcut. This is the area right here. We are unlocking the shortcut here, so you have an idea of where we are. And yes, then you go through the shortcut into the lower area, because here we go down some stairs and all the way in the back corner there's a hidden crate with the next weapon. So just go down the stairs here and walk all the way to the end. So we walk through here, and after going down the stairs we end up back here at this luggage rack, and behind the suitcases is the next weapon which we pick up. Here the enemies are still fresh, but we grab the next crate, and with that we've already taken care of it. There aren't that many weapons left now, just a few more, and we'll continue in the next section, which is also in chapter 9. And yes, in chapter 9 we can get the next weapon, specifically when we come back into the city for the first time, into the destroyed city. That's when we can pick up the next weapon. That's because the crate has been restocked, the one we had at the very beginning in chapter 1, here behind the well, where we can collect the next weapon. So head all the way over here, and again back there among all the crates, there's a hidden crate with the next weapon inside that we can pick up. Of course, we'll first collect all the stuff lying around here, but in the back corner there's the next crate. We'll go over there and grab the next weapon. Yes, then in chapter 9 there's another weapon to get, namely Lies. You can find it here at the Stargazer. After you've been in the first ruined house, the ruined apartment, there's also a merchant here who should already be familiar to you. And at this merchant, we can get the next weapon and continue working towards the trophy. So go to the merchant, grab the next weapon, and then move on. Again, in chapter 9, we can pick up a few more things here, and that leads us to the next weapon, which we find after we found and deciphered the cryptic vessel here. If you don't have that, feel free to check the channel. All the cryptic vessels are listed and solved there, and we need to get to this secret area, because only here will we find the next weapon, which is inside this chest. That's why we grab it, take it with us, and as I said, there's something special about the cryptic vessel on the channel. Then we move on to chapter 10. Chapter 10 is simply the start. After we've fought the first stronger enemy, the item is lying on the left side, and we can just pick it up easily and obtain the Halberd blade. Otherwise, just keep moving through chapter 10, and then we arrive at chapter 11. In chapter 11, once we've unlocked the first shortcut to the large area where the first two big enemies are, we can find test subject 826 there. It's very important that you talk to him. He actually has an emote for you. Above all, you should definitely unlock the shortcut in the back, just so you have it already. And as soon as you've killed Laxasia, this test subject 826 can escape, and we'll find him again later in another section. So make sure to open the door here so he can get through. Then later, after we've defeated Laxasia, we go to Rosa Isabel Street. That's where we go, and he has opened his own shop right there. In that shop we can, of course, buy a weapon logically and also get a few other things as well. So make sure to unlock test subject 826 here. Now let's head over from Rosa Isabel Street to where we just found him. So we go back here and take a left. You should have already unlocked this. And then we just head down that way. I'm playing around a bit here with my lie, the special weapon Golden Lie. If you don't have it yet, feel free to check out the channel. As I said, you'll also find a video about all the special weapons there. We'll grab the items here and head left. And now we can go up the big staircase here. So not the stairs to the left, but take the big staircase up here. Then go right. And there you'll find test subject 826, who has set up a little shop here. And that's where we can buy the next weapon. So just talk to him and get the next weapon. Alright friends, let's move on to the last weapon, which we can find as usual in chapter 11. It's basically right along the way, so it's almost impossible to miss, and of course we'll grab it. Specifically, when we walk this way in chapter 11, there are quite a few paths. It's a bit confusing, partly because of the castle here, for sure. I'll show you the entire route again. We walk through here, and then we come to a small library area, where there's also a book lying around. The first discovery. And there we can go up the stairs, and then we reach an area where there's a small hole in the floor. That's something you can easily remember. We go through there, and to the right behind the hole is the chest, and that was the last weapon. That way the trophy will pop for you, friends, and you've done it. So with that, I'd like to thank you for watching. If you have any questions about it, feel free to write them in the comments. Otherwise, you'll find all the guides for Lies of P on the channel, of course. Feel free to click through them if you're missing anything. All trophy guides are listed there. Alright, and then I wish you lots of fun with the Platinum Trophy, friends. Alright, see you next time. Take care, adios, and ciao ciao.